What is going on, you crazy little kids? So today I thought I would start out a new series on GraalOnline PlayerWorlds. So I thought I would start teaching some people how to actually use the PlayerWorlds RC correctly, since like nobody knows how to use it. And I thought I would teach a bunch of GS2 because there's not many tutorials on YouTube anymore, or at all in general. So today we're just gonna go over RC, and I'm probably going to make some more videos today and post them slowly for the week. So when you're on a player world, there's a thing called remote control. Well, so first off, I'm going to be explaining everything as if you know absolutely nothing, because everyone I've talked to basically knows nothing. So I'm just going to close this. So when you're on a player world and you get hired on a server, you want to learn GS2, are you going to code for them? You want to press F6, and this will bring up the remote control, the outer remote control for Graal. So I'm just going to quickly explain all the buttons on the console that we have here. So up at the top left, this right here, it does not work. It's the player list. It only works on offline RC, which is this, which I'll explain later. Basically all it does is gives you a full list of who's online, and you can edit their attributes in here like that. And so I'm going to close that. So right here, this is really important. This is called the file browser. So when we click this, so this right here is what people will download when they join the server in sense. Anything in levels and under. These are folders that hold things like your images, your animations for your player, your bodies, your heads, specific levels. Yeah, it holds your Gmaps and all your things like that, like scripts as well, weapons, scripts, which I'll be talking about a little later in the video. Also logs, which you can set up a way to log things in a database, which we can explain later. So that's a little too much, but yeah. So right here basically is just a quick way to upload images and all your things you're going to need for scripting. Alright, so up here, these four things are pretty important. This one is not actually. This is just some options, and you should ignore that for now, to be honest. Okay, so the globe with the flag, these are called server flags. So I'm on a server, it's just Dev Prime, it's really kind of a random server or whatnot, but yeah, so they don't have any server flags at the moment, but these are variables that can be accessed by any NPC and any script. So we can store things like if you had a bush out here and you slashed it like this, we can have it add up and update this variable. So let's just say this dot bush is equal to 1. If we save that, I'm not authorized to even change that, but if we had this, we can actually put this anywhere and affect this number. That's really useful for certain things that we'll go over later, but that's just a quick explanation of what a server flag is for. Right here is the folder configuration. This is for if on your server, if you have custom folders, so like music that's custom that I've added, it's basically another folder inside of something, and you just give yourself rights to it. I'll explain that as well. So basically this is the folder configuration allows you to add different file extensions. Really, that's pretty much what you're going for, such as .new or .gmap for Graal's levels. .graal, it's really old, they don't even use those anymore, but things like your GIFs, images, your sound files, Gmaps, and just more of the same thing over again. Same with your bodies, heads, shields, and swords. This is what allows players to download files when they join the game. So if you add something to the server, you want to make sure that this will show, because if it doesn't show up in the game, it's probably something wrong with this. Okay, so now we're going to go over the server options. This is pretty important because this is like how the server runs, like things that go on with it. I don't really want to go too in depth with this, but I'll put some links in the description to some tutorials on how this all works. But yeah, you have like your hack detection, we have some player settings. It's kind of hard to explain this really quickly, but basically this is like Graal's default script settings. So for example, the unstick me level, when you say unstick me, we have it go here to this X and this Y, and this is how long it'll take. Those are things that are already built into Graal, and we're trying to modify them through this. Also, I just put this here. It's just a little comments thing, so it's just a list of comments. I'll show that later too. Okay, so now we're going to come to this button right here. This is called, I'm just going to call it the Gui Explorer. So what this does is allow you to make really quick GUIs. So for example, if you need a window and you want a button in it, We can do this, and then what you can do is actually have it export, and you can get the code for it. So yeah, let's say this is what we want. You can click compile, and we have the full code, just the basic outline of it, and we can take it from there. I actually do this quite a bit, even though a lot of people say not to do this. Like, before you judge me for using this, you should probably learn how to code it first. I know how to code systems for this, but I'd rather just quickly do this because it's a waste of time. So yeah, that's just a quick overview, but you can do a lot of things in here. I'll have specific tutorials on these. If you'd like, just comment that in. Alright, so next what we're going to do is talk about these three probably most important things in the whole thing. So when you're coding in GraalOnline Classic or PlayerWorlds or iEra or any server like that, it's based on two different things really, well, three-ish. So you have a weapon, which is like this. So what right here, the weapon is attached to the player, so I've created a weapon. So basically weapons are systems, movement scripts, things that would affect the player and mostly only the player. That's what you want to keep it like towards, you know. These things are like items or HUDs or GUIs or messages or systems, you know, things that you would want the player to have specifically. You can affect things server side with these as well, but you want to keep it mainly to things that would actually be a weapon. Okay, so there's also these things called classes, and right here NPCs. So we're just going to ignore this for now, but so it's one of these guys. It's a non-playing character, and we can modify him through script. You know what an NPC is, which is right here, a non-playing character. And now what a class is it's an NPC basically that we can access. So we can make an NPC script and we can access it. We can make a class like this, and then we can access it through an NPC. So there won't be, let's say we have 3 NPCs, but we want this code to be on all of them, but we don't want to just keep attaching it. We can actually just join each individual NPC through like a few lines of code that connect to this script right here, and we can use it on anything. And when we edit this, it'll update in all 3 of them instead of specifically going into each NPC and fixing the script one by one. So that makes these classes very useful. Same with weapons. You can actually attach these to weapon scripts. So for example, if you have a inventory system and you want something to drop, it'll create a class, which is an NPC of the item, and when we touch it, we can take that class, delete it, and add the weapon that class had on it back to the player. It's kind of hard to explain, but we can go over it later. Okay, and so now these are what we'd call a database NPC. These are what kind of control the game. These are server-side NPCs. For example, on Dev Prime, what we have it doing at the moment is when the player joins the game, we have it add these specific weapons that are more like the HUD here, which is cough stolen. But yeah, so like the inventory system I'm working on, we have this automatically download to the player. So for example, yeah, you know, you can have your things here. Yeah, so I have some weapons here, and it'll automatically download to the player, and you can set these NPCs to do anything, pretty much anything, server side. So that's about it for the basic overview of how online servers work with Graal. So the next couple videos I'll be teaching actual code. I know you probably want to learn it, so thanks for watching. Let's get right into it.